Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And today we're going to be taking a look at Fairy Tail with volume 37 from Hiro Mashima, which is the continuation of the Grand Magic Games, and we are now in day 5 of the games, which is the final day, where it is an all-out battle royale with the 6 remaining teams, where all 5 members of each team is out there on the battlefield, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. So, a lot of great stuff, and as you can see, there's no more one-on-one matches. You see on the cover, you have Urza taking on Kagura and Minerva. And I have to say, Urza has probably been the MVP of this arc so far, especially from her showing in volume 34, where she took on all 100 monsters at once and defeated them all. So she's like the queen, man. I mean, she's killing it. That's why they call her Titania, the Fairy Queen. But Fairy Tail had to make a substitution where Natsu is not competing in the final day because he had to go out there and save Lucy because, of course, Lucy was kidnapped by Arcadios to be used in the Eclipse Project plan, which, Arcadios thinks he's going to defeat Zeref, but, well, all be revealed soon. But anyway, Juvia had to take his spot, so Fairy Tail's team ended up being Loxus, Gajiel, Gray, Urza, and Juvia. And meanwhile, Natsu, Mira Jane, Wendy, and the Exceeds, Happy, Carla, and Pantherlay went down to rescue Lucy, to which, they found Lucy, but they were ambushed by the Hungry Wolf Knights, who are like this deadly group of assassins, which you'll find out are essentially just jobbers, but they're there to slow Natsu down. So anyway, let's get right to it. Again, Urza being the MVP, I mean, goddamn, dude, she's got her finest battle gear on for this, that's for sure. And there's my girl, Lucy. But, I forget these guys' names. They did mention their names in the last volume, but I forget. Just, like I said, they're pretty much jobbers. They're meant to slow them down for a minute. But you have this guy with the scythes, who's taking on Natsu, and he's trying to be like all menacing. His design is pretty cool. Look at him. He's like, I seek only to remove the heads of sinners. And Natsu, you're pretty scary, huh, guy? But of course, the whole group got separated. I mean, you have this guy who uses like acid. It's like acid booze because he's like sipping on his bottle here, and his shirt says Acid Rule. He's fighting Panther Lily. You have this chick here fighting Mira Jane, who's using some kind of poison magic. This other chick fighting Wendy. And then you have Yukino, Lucy, Carla, and Happy, along with Arcadios, taking on this Jamoke, who seems to be the most powerful of all. They were kind of joking that, he's like a goofy-looking guy, but he seems to be pretty powerful in that he can change the whole effect of the land they're on, the whole terrain. You see, he says, Earth Effect, Lava Band, and he turns the whole ground into lava. So the two girls are helpless there, especially because they were kidnapped by Arcadios, and then they were betrayed by that guy, what was his name, Darton, who was the Minister of Defense, and he seized their celestial keys. So they can't even use their magic now because all their spirits have been taken away. So they're pretty helpless, and you see the whole ground is turning into lava, and Arcadios is running in for the save. And you'll notice that Arcadios, as he's talking here, he's not even worried about saving the two girls. He just wants them to live to go forward with the Eclipse Project, but anyway, he's man enough to walk in the fucking lava. I mean, give him credit for that. And you see from the waist down, he's submerged in the lava. And he says, as he lifts him up, he's like, is the Eclipse the right path or not? That is for you two to decide. So, he gives his life to protect them. And they're like, no, Arcadios. And he's like falling into the lava. I mean, holy crap, dude. But look who's coming to save the day. It's Horologium, which Horologium sort of saved the day quite a few times in Lucy's case, and probably most significantly in the battle against Hades, when Hades used that one powerful beam attack on Wendy, and it seemed like she had vanished into thin air when Horologium saved the day. And he sort of has like a little quip at the end where he's like, oh, I can only save you this one time, so just be careful next time, would you? So you gotta love that. And they're questioning, how the hell did Horologium come in? Because he's one of the celestial spirits. Well, Loki's here to save the day, who's the most powerful of the celestial spirits and was able to pass through the gate on his own. Of course, before Lucy even came into the picture, he was working with the Fairy Tail Guild for some time, so he has the ability to do that. And, he found his princess in danger, so he's there to save the day. So you gotta love that. And he's got all their keys back for all the ladies, and they got their counterattack ready. So, and then it cuts to Natsu. It's about time I beat you up, don't you agree? So everyone's able to take the upper hand here. You have Yukino using her celestial spirits with Pisces, and you gotta love this. Happy, oh, fish! This guy, fish! And yeah, we've seen that her spirit is Pisces, the twin fish, but in this instance, they take their true form, which are, humans. So they're there doing battle, and then she calls out Libra, and everyone's got their spirits ready. So, in an interesting turn of events, it turns out that the Pisces don't do well battling in water. So Lucy says, "I've got just the one for water. Come on, Aquarius!" And great shot of the two of them. I mean, look at Lucy's face. She's great right there. Then, of course, Aquarius. And everyone's getting the upper hand. You have Pantoli thinking back to all the times he trained with Gagiel, ready to fight back. Wendy, who says, I'm meant to be a support mage, but when I have to battle, I become the Sky Dragon. And then Mira, who, Mira, she has the innocent, pretty face where she's like, my big brother's always there protecting me. But when the time comes, she's strong in her own self. And she's an S-class wizard as well. So she does her transformation to get Satan's soul and says, "Oh, you gave the devil poison. That's one of the devil's favorite things." So I love that shot of her right there. And that's why I said they're all pretty much jobbers, because it took like 2-3 chapters to beat them all. And Natsu's beating the ever-living hell out of them. And that's just that. So everyone gets their finishing moves there. And just a beautiful thing. So as all this happens, they defeat their opponents and it breaks through the wall. And conveniently, because they're all separated, they're all in the same room. And it's like, oh, good to see everyone again. Okay, where's the exit? So, back over here, they're making their way out. And, they got Arcadios going. And as they find their way to the door, Natsu, just being the complete fool he is, like just falling over the place. They find this cloaked figure, right, who they've been pursuing for quite some time. Remember, we've seen Jalal, Altir, and Merity looking after this one, and they said there's this strange magic that keeps coming around every year at the Grand Magic Games, and it keeps showing this hooded figure. And we did see, I think it was the last volume, where Jalal actually had a conversation with this person. And then it cuts over here to the minister talking to Princess Hisui, and they're talking about the Eclipse Project plan and how there's a second plan to use the Eclipse Project as a weapon to, be used to protect the kingdom. And, she's been told by someone who came from the future. And it's like, whoa, what the hell? So back over to the games. Everyone's getting ready for their final battles. We have Sheria facing off against Juvia. Urza getting ready to face off against her next opponent. And, Mavis, she's the ghost. All the members of Fairy Tail can see her as the first master, but no one else can. And she's the one, sort of planning everyone to be in their certain spots to face their opponents. So, as Urza's getting ready, she was thinking she was going to face off against Minerva, but Kagura shows up. And Kagura, as we know, is a very powerful swordswoman who wants to get revenge on Jalal and kill Jalal. And, we learned that her sword is unsheathed, and she'll only unsheath it to kill Jalal. So as all that's going on, of course, Minerva shows up. Kind of knew that with the cover. And all the announcers are like, what is going on? What's Minerva doing here? And Minerva says, I'll join you. And it's going to be all three ladies duking it out. So who will win this epic battle? So here's a great color page right there. And Rufus, he conceded defeat to Gray. He lost to Gray. He's like, oh, the winner of this will, of course, be the princess. So the three of them are getting ready to duke it out. And just a great battle. So, yeah, we all know Urza's techniques. Kagura can use gravity magic and also has the sword. And Minerva has, some sort of teleportation magic. But we also learned that she has, curses and incantations. So, interesting stuff right there. So some great shots of them doing battle, and they're all pretty evenly matched. And what happens is, of course, Minerva being the villain. I mean, she's kind of billed as a villain, but she's really not a villain. She's just the villain in this instance in that we're rooting for Urza. But Minerva is just using all her magic to basically rewrap the attacks to make the two of them fight each other, like the bitch she is. So you see she's using the magic of the Yakuma 8 battle gods, and it's like this incantation. Yeah. Wigmion, Dels, or Continuous. So she's doing all these chants and summoning these deities or whatever. And just showing the true might of her power in that, as this blast goes on, everyone else is watching. It's like, who here is that strong? What's going on? And these two girls, like, look at how they're fighting. So, all that does, though, is just damages their clothes, reveals a little more, right? So Minerva, conceding the fact that they're all evenly matched, says, oh, I've captured a kitten. And, that's Miliana, member of Kagura's guild and also friend of Urza. So she says, I'll release her, but the two of you must fight each other first. And then whoever loses your fight, I'll fight then. Haha, you must listen to me because I have a captive. So yeah, this is Princess Hisui talking to the minister about her friend from the future who told Hisui about the events of the Grand Magic Games. And basically, if the results go as predicted, that is when she's going to use the eclipse. And the minister is all like, you're going to believe some person? How do you know they came from the future? Like, what are you talking about? So we get the great reveal about the hooded figure here, told by my friend from the future. And it's Lucy from the future. And she's crying. And look at Natsu and our Lucy. What? Lucy? What are you doing, Lucy? So she's here from the future, and everyone's in complete shock. And, she came from the eclipse door across dimensions from the past. But collapses, despite, I guess, because of all the power used to time travel, collapses. And again, going back to this, talking about the future of what's going to happen. And it's based on the outcome of the Grand Magic Games, because it's such an insane outcome. That's the only reason that Hisui would believe it. So the two of them are doing battle here. And, continuing to use her tricks. Minerva, you see right here, she's ready to be attacked by Kagura, but then switches with Urza. And this is when she says, the two of you will fight, and that's when I'll fight the victor. So elsewhere, we have Gajel running into Rogue. And we're getting ready for all the matchups that we've been foreshadowed throughout this whole arc, where we also have Loxus going up against Olga, and this guy uses lightning magic just like Loxus. And meanwhile, Sting is just sitting, waiting, to make his move. And then this is where we have Crime Sorcier, Jalal, Altir, Merity, all talking about Lucy from the future and about the plans and what to do and how they should act. Because remember, these are all fugitives. They all escaped, well, not Merity, but Altir and Jalal all escaped prison at some time. So, they can't really just waltz in there, but they do want to help. So the two of them are doing battle. You have Urza now using all her abilities to change her armors. And you see her use her standard armor there. And then she gets the really powerful defensive armor where, Kagura, like look at how powerful Kagura is, where she's slicing through Urza without even pulling out her blade. So then Urza uses the really fast armor, Sonic Claw, and just beating the hell out of each other. So, again, because Miliana also wants revenge, wants to kill Jalal for what Jalal did to them, but Urza knows the deal. I mean, Jalal, he did evil things, but he was controlled by Altir way back when, and is seeing the error in his ways. That's why he wants to be a good guy now, to right his wrongs and atone for his sins. And Kagura's not having any of it. She's like, no, I will kill Jalal. Because he killed my brother, Simon, one of the men Jalal killed. And, we know Simon, we saw his death when Jalal was evil. And thinks back to, young Kagura with her brother. And I love this too, how, she has the little bow in her hair and she had it even as a little kid. I love the little cute flashback scenes because we've seen quite a few of these scenes with other characters and their backstories. So this is the whole reveal how Simon got roped into the Tower of Heaven, where their whole village was, roped into doing the deeds of Zareth. And Urza says, it wasn't Jalal's fault, it was my fault. And to that, Kagura's like, you're still going to protect Jalal? It's the truth, he killed my brother, so I'll make you pay. And you see right here, she's pulling out her blade for the first time. Look at this. I love this scene right here, look at that, man. And then, cuts to some blood, but before that, does the scene over again. Because, if you're reading this week to week in the chapter form, you're probably led to believe, oh shit, Urza's done. But no, Urza's not done. And sort of does a redo of the scene. And actually does get her in the shoulder. You see the blood coming out. And Urza pulling out her blade. It does not mean I must die too. And Urza has a great moment here where she says, Simon allowed me to live. Grandpa Rob allowed me to live. My friends allowed me to live. To give up my life would dishonor those who have departed. And man, this is just so much energy right here. I'll kill both you and Joel. I'll kill you both. So the two of them are having an epic struggle here. Both evenly matched. And, you know, they say on the last beer that Urza won, I guess because, you know, Kagura got knocked down for too long, despite Urza was down. So, I mean, how come Kagura didn't win? But they declare the victory for Urza. And just as Kagura's getting ready to get back up, you see the crumbling from the building around them is going to fall on Kagura. But Urza, being the kind-hearted woman she is, goes there to save the day and push Kagura out of the way with the rubble falling on her leg there. And then Urza reveals the fact that she knows Kagura because she was told stories from Simon, but also remembers back from when she was a young girl when the village was getting pillaged there, and Kagura's there crying like, Simon, where's my brother? And Urza was the one who protected Kagura. You know, Simon got kidnapped, so did Urza, but she was the one who protected Kagura. And she starts crying, thinking back to that wow, this woman here who I'm trying to kill protected me all those years ago. And, you know, what a sad moment right there. And the two of them start crying. Kagura lifts up the rubble. But before she can do that, this bitch out of nowhere comes in and stabs her right through the stomach there. Oh my god, what a bitch, that Minerva. So then she claims the points for eliminating Kagura. Starts cackling like the evil woman she is. And look at Urza's face with blood coming down. You will pay. So Urza, you see her crawling out from the rubble, and still, like, look at all the blood from, you know, that crushing her leg there. She can barely even stand. You see, you know, her foot's all black with, like, blood there. You know, you can't really be colored in manga, but you get the idea. And Urza's like, well, you know, it's over. Where's Miliana? Give us Miliana. Oh, the kitty? Here you go. I have no more use for her. And, you know, Urza's trying to make sure she's all right, lifts up her cape and sees all the scratch marks there. Oh my god, can you believe it? So she was just abusing Miliana while the two of them were going at it. And the fury in Urza's face. So it cuts back over here to Rogue and Gagio. And Gagio's like, come on, kid, you know, Natsu beat the two of you. And, you know, I'm slightly weaker than Natsu, but, you know, that means I'll beat you. And Rogue's getting all pissed off by that. And he also says, you're not on the same level as Natsu Dragdale. You see the vein. What does that mean? So everyone here is pretty evenly matched. Loxus and Olga. And then all of a sudden, oh, ho, ho. It seems like I've met up with some strong people. Perhaps I'll ask you to spare me some time. I haven't been so excited in so long. So now Jorah's going to enter this battle. And meanwhile, the two ladies here are just, like, they're not even using any of their abilities. And they're just jealous because, you know, Leone likes Juvia. And she can't really help it because Sharia likes Leone. But Juvia likes Gray, so they're having their struggle for their men. And, of course, Gray and Leone show up. And look at the two of their faces. Oh, Gray-sama. So they're going to team up. And I love this right here. So he says, well, I took care of two at the same time. And you see Juvia here. I took care of two at the same time. I'll take care of you for all time. I love you, Juvia. Look at her face. So where will we go honeymooning, darling? You gotta love Juvia, man. So, now the future Lucy is waking up, and you have everyone saying their little sayings, especially Loki up here, who's like, oh, there's two Lucys. I will declare that I love both of you. Gotta love Loki. So, you know, Lucy's telling them what's going on about the future and everything, and how they have to protect the future so that it doesn't end up being, you know, full of ruin like future Lucy's. And as it happens, it cuts to Hisui, who says, my friend told me that what waits ahead is despair. A stampede of more than 10,000 dragons will come to attack this country. And look at this drawing, all the great looking dragons there. I mean, look at all the detail, man. I love it. Finally getting to see some action of the dragons. So That's that. And basically, the results of the games will determine whether or not they're going to use the Eclipse Gate, which, use the Eclipse Gate anyway to protect yourself from the dragons. What are you, nuts? So here's a great drawing here, which this is actually the color page. That's the cover of the first manga box set, which is beautiful in color, I have to say. So, at the same time, this Lucy, as Hisui was telling the minister, revealed to Natsu and the gang what the hell's going on. And you can see the expression on their faces, particularly Natsu. And Natsu's like, oh, what's that supposed to be? He's screaming like a maniac, and I love Happy's face right there. Like, he's screaming too. And Natsu starts like getting ready. He's like, anyway, we can't waste time. Let's get ready for the battle. You're going to fight? And then future Lucy, you believe me? Of course. Was that a lie? Why would anybody doubt you, Lucy? And, she blushes, and it's like, oh. And then Carla's premonition is all making sense now, because, of course, she saw the castle crumbling down, but she thought Lucy was singing, when in all actuality, she's crying and screaming. So Carla's visions are proving correct. And then Lucy reveals the fact that she came from the past only to July 4th. Meanwhile, I think we're on July 6th right now, so it was only a few days ago. And hearing all this, Arcadios is hearing a flaw in the story, because he's been told information by the princess as well. And he's getting really confused by it, because this Lucy here says she doesn't have a plan. When the princess is talking about using another plan, Eclipse 2, to use the Eclipse as a sort of weapon with a Therion, an Therion blast to fire at the dragons. So there's a flaw in the princess's story, leading to the theory that there could be someone else from the future. And then we get this great shot right here. We'll figure out a way to stop it. Thank you for giving us a future. And as she's crying, and everyone's looking on, and then this Lucy like, God damn, I wish that was me. So Jalal is also catching on to this as well, thinking like, oh shit, what the hell? Is there someone else in the future now? And Gajil beating the hell out of Rogue. And Rogue, who we've seen flashes in the previous volumes, how Rogue wants to be more friendly with his guildmates, but because of the master of Sabretooth, they're all assholes, they're all concerned about winning. And he says, I guess there's a reason for that. The reason you joined a fairy tale. And I think I know it. It's camaraderie, right? Sabretooth has nothing like that. And it cuts back to all the times where the master was an asshole, to when he kicked Yukino out of the guild, when they thought he killed Lecter, but Lecter's still alive, and when they were beating the shit out of Lucy. And Rogue says, what is a guild? What are comrades? What am I supposed to be fighting for? And now I think I see why you guys are so strong. So strong we can't hope to win. And Gajil giving him some words of encouragement. Stand up! You don't understand anything. That frog is your comrade, right? And Rogue, frog, Frosh is a cat. Right, he's your comrade. So, and look at Frosh, like, yay, Rogue, Fro thinks so also. And then while this is all going on, he hears a voice, Rogue, look before you, your enemy is still before your eyes. Rogue, kill Gajil, kill Gajil. I am your shadow, I'll give you power. Kill Gajil. So, oh shit, look at that cliffhanger. But some great stuff right here. And this is where they can see the fact they revealed their names a while back. And Masha even says here that he forgot the names of the Hungry Wolf Knights because they were such jobbers. But some great stuff, man. I love the action we had. I love Loki's epic entrance returning. And of course, the match with Kagura and, Urza. And this shot too, I mean, let's see. I mean, you get some booby action with Kagura, but it's, let's see, where is it? Where is it? There it is. As she's getting stabbed, you got the booby action. So you gotta love that. But yeah, I loved future Lucy appearing in the moment that they had with Natsu. So good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below, and stay tuned for my review of volume 38 coming soon. Have a great day, guys.